Welcome to the Dominic Hunter Show. I'm your host, Dominic Hunter. Before I introduce you to our guest for today's show, let me first acknowledge some of our great and fine sponsors, starting with Nationwide Security Systems, covering the comfort of America, and also want to say hey and thanks to Vacation Now Travel Agency. Again, welcome to the Dominic Hunter Show, and today's guest is Coach Joey Jones of the University of South Alabama football team. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How you doing?
Great. Well, viewing audience, you hear or know about the buzz at University of South Alabama football team. Another undefeated season. Well, Coach Jones, I know we got a lot to talk about, but first, can you share with our viewing audience about another perfect season there at the University of South Alabama football team?
Well, we've been real pleased. There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears going into this, and you know, the fans only see what happens on Saturdays, but our coaches and players have put a lot of time in to make this thing happen and done things the right way. And one thing we talked about there is we want to build the foundation the right way. And I think anything you do, you've got to have a good foundation. You know, you can't just you got to build your house out of brick and not out of sand and that type thing. And so, bottom line is we've done things the right way. We're fundamentally building our program from A to Z, and the kids have bought in. They bought into the program. They really understand what it takes, and some of the things we talk about are effort. We talk about attitude. And we talk about knowing what you're doing, and we talk about the fundamental things. You know, it's, I think sometimes coaches get a little too far ahead of themselves, start talking about X's and O's and schemes. It comes down to fundamentals. It comes down to who's going to play the hardest. You know, who does it mean more to? And what kind of attitude do you have every day in practice and those kind of things. We keep preaching that, and so I think that's had a lot to do with the results on the field. I mean, you know, wins and losses are great, you know, or wins are great, but bottom line is, you know, you've got to do what you do on the practice field in order to get that and achieve that.
Now, you made mention about the players having to buy into your system there. Was it ever a challenging situation, perhaps, when you first, started last year, the football season, where you had a kid or athlete perhaps wasn't bendable or wasn't teachable? How did you handle something like that if you did have it?
Well, my deal is this. First of all, we're going to let the players know that we care about them. I think that motivates anyone. I don't care who you are, whether you're working at Alpha Insurance, whether you're working at South Alabama. If you have someone that cares about you, I think you're more motivated to do your job. So we start there. So we really build their confidence and build a love relationship with our players, and then they respond to. They don't want to let you down once that happens. Once they know that there's a trust there, that they trust you, then they're going to work and do what they can to be the very best they can be. So we start there.
Great. Now, if you would, share with some of our viewing audience about who is Coach Joey Jones in terms of your coaching background.
Well, you know, I've of course, playing. I was real quickly talking about playing. Played at Murphy High School. Went to the University of Alabama. Played for Coach Bryant.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And went to play in USFL with the Birmingham Stallions for a couple of years, and then went to Atlanta Falcons to play for the Falcons as well in the NFL. So did all that, and that was great. Wanted to get into coaching. Started my high school career in coaching at Briarwood Christian High School, and you know, I always wanted to coach. Football was all I knew. You know, it was one of those deals, and loved the game. And I stayed in high school. Right? So my sons are 24 and 22 at this point, and I wanted to coach those guys. I had several opportunities to get into college football before then, but you know what? When you're in college football, it's kind of hard to spend time with your family because you spend so many hours working. And so I did not want to sacrifice my relationship with my sons. And so stayed in high school for all those years. Went to Mountain Brook High School, spent 10 years there. Then had a break and went to Birmingham and Southern and started a football program there, Division III program in Birmingham, and did that. And because after my sons graduated, I was ready to move on. And then this opportunity arose here at South Alabama, and kind of the rest is history at this point.
Wow. So how was it like, you know, being that you played almost in every level of football, from high school, college, the USFL, and the NFL. How was it like what you learned there during all those years of football that you implemented there at the University of South Alabama?
I think you take a little of something from everywhere you go. You know, people ask me all the time, do you model Coach Bryant and what he did? Well, yeah, some things, not everything. I mean, I think you got to be your own man. You know, you got to be who you are. And so, yeah, I took a little something from everything. And I think that, you know, Coach Bryant was obviously a guy that cared about you and motivated you to give great effort in everything you were doing on the field and in the games. I think that he was able to do that. I learned that from him.
We're talking about Coach Bear.
Coach Bear Bryant.
Okay.
That's correct. And so I learned that a lot from him. And then, you know, Coach Raleigh Dotch in the USFL, I learned from him that you can have a relationship with your players and still have a good football team. You know, he was one of the guys that cared about you off the field. He got on you on the field. Practice, it was tough, and he demanded a lot. But off the field, you know, he put his arm around you, talked to you, wanted to know about your family. You know, I learned a lot from him. So I guess what I'm saying is I learned a lot from all those guys, and even my high school coaches and Little League coaches at Matry Park. So you just kind of pick and choose things that you've learned and implement them and try to do things the right way. You know, once you're got a chance to coach.
Okay, great. Well, meanwhile, viewing audience, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back with you with Coach Joey Jones of the University of South Alabama football team. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.